Hi everybody, it's me, Beth Maitland of Drama Queen Bee Quilt Studio, and I'm taking just a moment on this beautiful Sunday morning, the last day of May of 2026, to check in with you and show you something I've been working on. A lot of disclaimers. I've had a really busy month, and I've been doing a lot of trips back and forth to Los Angeles from the central coast of beautiful central coast of California for work, which I'm so grateful for. I've been taking this along and working on it little bit by little bit, and I wanted to sort of show you what I've been up to today. I my puppy turned 3 years old. He's about 107 pounds, and we had a little accident. So forgive my hands. I have one little thing to stitch to finish this off, a place to secure my scissors. So we're going to do that together while we talk. But in the meantime, I have been working on my very first, after putting it off for a really long time, Hussif, huswif, housewife, Hussif, all the things, loads of names for these, but I know that you know if you're a sewer what this is. Historically, especially for soldiers going off to war or the battlefield, their female mothers, wives, sisters would make them a little traveling sewing kit for things like mending their uniforms and mending their clothing. And it would carry just the basics. This is beyond the basic, and this is not based on history. This is based on loving the idea of having a go kit to take everywhere with me. And I've got smaller versions of these in needle books and little sewing kits that are small that I've been able to use over time, but I decided to make myself the ultimate huswif, Hussif. And about the name, they're called so many things because it is sort of your companion housewife. It's who will do your mending for you. Sometimes they also contained other kinds of tools, leatherworking tools, other implements, eating tools sometimes, just a knife and a fork. Would be even a wooden spoon would be carried in these, but this is about sewing today. So let's take a look at what this is, and then we'll get to sewing this, and we'll talk about you guys for a minute. So I've done it in two phases. I did the outside and I did the inside, and then I put them both together with the intention of using them in that way. So I knew it all along what I was going to be doing, but they're very different, and I don't know, they're complementary, but they're a little matchy. Sorry, Rachel. Sorry, Sarah. The non-matchy Roxy girls. This is a little matchy, but it's right up my alley. So this is a rope that I made out of 1-inch strips, 3 1-inch strips of different fabrics that are companion fabrics. There's a ticking in there. There's a homespun in there, and then there's a polka dot print in there. So I decided to tie it with this hearty, twisted rope made out of fabric. And I just made it into a little bow and used it as a closure. This is some beautiful vintage lace that I wanted just to be kind of the end. And we'll just start here and unroll. This is hand embroidery done with beautiful, my favorite is Valdani threads in 3 colors and only 3 stitches. It's just straight stitch, back and forth stitch, French knots, and a little leaf design that I like that's also sort of straight stitch. So really super simple, but high impact using variegated threads. Then there's a little strip of a piece of lace trim that I liked, that I trimmed off and made sort of into a motif. And as we open this up, it's a collection of companionable complementary fabrics, some French General, some just scraps from my bin. This is a micro ticking from Tilda. There's some beautiful Kathy Holden labels that I've included that I've fussy cut out and then sewn on piece by piece. Vintage yo-yos from a vintage yo-yo quilt. And here's a little micro table mat vintage yo-yo table mat that I deconstructed because it was damaged. And so I've found little companion pieces. I've also used vintage lace bits. This is a really old piece of vintage crocheted trim, just beautiful trim that I was saving for an amazing project that I hope this turns out to be. And let's see, I'm trying to make sure that you're on camera for all of this, that you can see everything more. Kathy Holden, it was a beautiful print. Thank you, Kathy, for being someone who not only understands slow stitching, but provides for us in all of these lovely ways. It was just a massive printed collection of labels that you can fussy cut out all the little individual things you need. A little bit more French General over here. And just like I said, some just bits and pieces from my scraps that kind of all went together. I finished the whole thing with a little tiny bit of embroidery, and there's some cantha stitching, there's some X's, there's some fly stitch, and more X's, and all of these are sewn down with in various directions. I used mostly on the fabrics, mostly just crochet cotton. All of this stuff, though, is variegated Valdani. And so another little piece of the lace, a vintage lace, and that is my cover on, this is a linen and rayon blend. It makes it really soft, very frayable, but super soft, not stiff and starchy like some linens can be. This, I wanted it really foldable and to feel really good in the hand. So here is my outside cover. Oh, things are falling out already. So that is the outside. Now let's take a look at what's on the other side. On the other side, on the back of the lace, I made a little pin cushion, and it's got a spot where if I need to put anything, threads or anything through it, I can. And just some little glass-headed beads that kind of go. I don't know. I got so matchy-matchy. A couple of little yo-yos. These are Suffolk pups I made. These are not vintage. And then a little gathered scrap of something that went with them. Again, beautiful French General bird fabric. Loved it. And I didn't do a lot of canthaing on the inside. I spent all the time kind of working on places to put things and that sort of thing. So there's a little bit of tatting pinned. I have, these are dress safety pins, some vintage buttons, and again, more of these in case I need to, just a little, this is now, we're inside to what I'm going to need to go. A little more of the lace motifs. I teach at Roxanne's, A Wish and a Dream in Carpinteria, and they were giving these away. Roxanne was giving them to customers on a day that I was teaching, and she gave me one, so I wanted to share the love. And then I made this into a pocket. It's got a snap closure. Inside are a collection of some of the beautiful threads that I love, some of my favorite colors, to always have those standing by, and some snaps and things, little things inside there. And this heart I sewed out of homespun on top, and this is going to be where my scissors go. And so what we're going to do in a minute is I kept the salvage of my French General fabric and the color key, and I thought I would tack that down, maybe with you today, we'll see, and then use it to feed up through the handles of my scissors so that when we're on the go, I would tie that into a bow and they don't fall out the top. So we may get back to that, we may not. We'll just see how it goes, but that's what I intend to use. I had tried sari silk, a piece of sari silk, but it was a little bit too, it kept fraying and being kind of messy, so I decided to use a selvage instead. And now moving along down the pack, on Etsy, there's a lovely artist who takes vintage silverware. This is so fun. Why is this caught inside? I don't know. Oh, yes, I do know why. She takes vintage silverware and cuts off the bottoms and welds on. Here's a seam ripper. And here's a grabber. This you can use to put bracelets on, but this is a grabber tool. I like to use it to hold one end, and then I will hold it like between my knees or underneath something. I will hold on to something, to an end of it. It's just sort of like a, I can't remember what they call this. It's a medical device that holds on to things. And you products of the 70s and the 60s will have another name for this. But I find it to be a really useful tool. I like it to keep it with me even more than my awl. I can use a needle if I need to poke a hole, but that's a really useful tool to be threading things through or holding on to one end when you only have two hands and you're braiding, whatever. So those go in this little pocket here. Let's do it this way. one up, one down. That'll keep them safe. And you could also use this for pins or marking tools, marking pencils or whatever. If you do ink tents, if you do a lot of coloration, you can put a couple of ink tents pens in here. But that little pocket, and then moving right along, this is why it fell out. My button, maybe didn't have that clasped. I put two little small buttons, pockets for more threads that I wrapped around. Thank you, Missouri Star Quilting. They sent me this little keychain, little key tag, a straight edge. And so I wrapped some more of my favorite threads around it and attached a little tassel. And then down here, there's another one I haven't, I'm waiting for a thread minder to arrive to wrap some more threads and tuck those away. But in the meantime, the cutter quilt heart, look at that. I found French laundry labels with my actual initials. I was so excited. I couldn't believe it. So I ordered those and I made this into a little pocket on a pocket. And inside that little heart is my thimble for the road and my thread cutter. You wear this and just, you can use that on a plane if you can't take scissors on a plane or whatever. That's a really handy little thing by Clover. And a little button to hold those in. So I've got my two little tools here, and this will be threads, more threads. And moving right along, when I quilt for people, and I don't do it much anymore, I've not been well, so I haven't been able to stand at the long arm like the hours that require custom quilting. So I haven't done a lot of quilting, but these are my little fabric labels. So I thought I would add one to another pocket. I put this down just for on-the-go little things, like when I'm working on a project and this is open and spread out, I can tuck my needles and pins in this without needing my needle book. But if I want my needle book, here's my little mini needle book that I have tucked away in this pocket. And my little needle book was loads of fun to make. A little excessive, but super fun. In here I have a needle threader, some needles, some embroidery and little patches, more needles, some mother of pearl buttons. These are little pins, milliner's pin flowers that I cut apart and made into cute little custom straight pins. And I made a whole batch of these. And when I in my Etsy shop, when I sell pin cushions and needle books, I often will tuck these in as just a little treat. Some little vintage buttons, more mother of pearl buttons and decorations. Here's some vintage red eye needles just to have standing by. So that's my needle book, and that gets tucked in this pocket. And for the flap of the pocket, I use this beautiful doily that I sewed down first. And then I just fold it over. I don't have a closure, but that stays pretty well when it's wrapped up. And then I bought I don't know if it was a fat eighths or fat quarter bundle of Moda fabrics, and this was their ribbon that tied the thing together. And somewhere I have some beautiful ribbon that's printed as a tape measure, but I couldn't find it. So I did have this salvage, or the actual tie from a Moda purchase, and I measured it with a ruler, and these are all very accurate. So I put this down in case I ever have to check a measurement. I don't have to carry around an extra tool. I've got my little Moda tape. So that is my inside. And again, we're going to come back, and maybe not today, but maybe I'll just get to it off camera. But I'm going to sew the little tie on for that. That's the last thing I have left to do, and then I think I'm done. These are all the tools that I probably will need on the road. And this is, I took just hours and hours of work, but I love it so much, and I'm so proud of it. My little Hussif, housewife, Hussif, with a J. Sometimes there's a J, sometimes there's so one of these days we're going to decide what it's really called. But in the meantime, this is my bundle, my traveling sewing kit that I've wanted for some time to do a little video and show you the progress. I'm glad that now, after it all is finished, that you got to see the final product. So have you made one? Are you working on one? There's tons of beautiful videos online if you need instruction. The significant thing that I found was that once you pack it, it gets really, really fat and really big. And you want to make sure that things don't fall out the top or the bottom, especially if you're going to take it like in an open bag. The second thing I found out in building mine was it's wonderful to be able to customize these to exactly what tools you always use. And so sometimes there's little pouches inside. There are times people include removable pouches. Sometimes there are like my little pin cushion attached. Sometimes there are removable pin cushions. So there's so many ways to customize these to exactly what your needs are. But I had the most fun decorating it, matching fabrics, because I'm sorry, girls, I just love matchy. I love things that go together. And so this has been one of my favorite projects maybe ever. And I'm so proud of also how beautifully I think it turned out. It's so easy and pretty to look at. It's wonderful in your hand. It's great to feel. And if you're looking for ideas, search Hussif, or Sewing Housewife on YouTube, and you'll find some of the most amazing and beautiful travel sewing kits you could even imagine. So in the meantime, I'm going to go outside and do yard work now because I've been so busy this month that I have not kept up. And I got horses to take care of and big dogs to take care of, and I need to catch up. But in the meantime, I wanted to pop on and show you my project and say hello, because I haven't been as good as I should be about posting videos this month because I've been so just always running and always driving. So hope everybody has a fantastic weekend and a beautiful summer. Tomorrow's June 1st. Here it comes. Summer's here, everyone. And please make time for sewing. In the meantime, be creative and have fun. And thank you so much for tuning in and being so supportive of my creative journey. This is Beth Maitland at Drama Queen Bee Quilts.